Hello, if you're new here, my name is Greta and I'm taking you through the entire process of writing my second novel. To be completely honest, I feel so uncomfortable filming this right now. I work in marketing and I'm used to having a professional camera setup and background and mic and everything. As you've seen in my other videos, you'll, if you're watching this, know that this looks much different than my other content. But I am in the process of moving and it has been so hectic. I have no background set up. All my camera gear is buried in boxes, but I want to stay consistent with creating content for my writing channel. And there's deadlines coming up, so I just decided to take out my little camera, my tiny tripod, and use this mic on my phone. I would love to go get a mic to put on my camera, but I live in Tahiti and there's no such thing as like going to Best Buy or Target and getting a mic. Like the mics here are marked up by like 5 times the price they are in the US, and I'm just not in the mood to be scammed. So I'm going to use my phone and this little camera that I have now. But anyways, I'm going to be documenting the process of me doing NaNoWriMo for the first time, and it's going to be more vlog style content. So I guess it's good that I'm getting familiar with the setup for the moment. I have a little coffee here. Yes, I do drink coffee with a straw. Don't judge me. If my dentists are watching this, they'll be very happy. I originally didn't have the intention to try NaNoWriMo, but it's kind of just come at the perfect time. Last week, I sat down to look at my calendar and I just have an insane next few months up ahead. I have some travels. I have a ton of 30th birthdays of my fiance and dear friends that I'm planning. I have my sister visiting me here in Tahiti. The idea of writing a 50,000 word first draft, I just know is not going to happen. And I'm just not going to set myself up for something that I know I'm already going to fail at. It's just not realistic, and I'm also in the process of moving in the midst of all of this. So I'm going to reframe the way I'm looking at NaNoWriMo. I'm still going to set myself a goal and go through it and go through the whole process and challenge, but the word count goal for me is going to be 25,000 words, and the overall goal is to complete a 0 draft of Project Porava. If you're new here, Project Porava is the adult fantasy novel that I'm working on. It has pirates and Hawaiian mythology. If you watch my other videos, you'll get a better feel for it, but I'm currently referring to it as Project Porava. Now you might be wondering, why are you doing a 0 draft? I am doing a 0 draft because, to be totally honest, I've had a really hard time finishing any draft in the last couple years. I wrote and self-published my first novel when I was 17 years old, and since then I've almost just had stage fright when it comes to finishing drafts. I think as a first-time writer, you really have the feeling that no one's ever going to read your work, and that gives you the ability to be able to draft without having this perfectionist mindset or having to edit every little thing along the way. But I find that once you've put your work out there and you understand what it's like to have feedback, both positive and negative, that critic that kind of watches over your shoulder as you're drafting just becomes more and more loud. And so my idea is that I'm going to give myself the grace to write a 0 draft, which I'm kind of thinking of as just a dressed up outline, and then allowing myself to do the first draft, the second, the third, so on and so forth. I hope to only do 3 drafts. So the 0 draft in my eyes is just kind of reaffirming, like, this is so far from a final draft. It's not even technically a first draft. It's your outline just built out even more. And I'm just taking baby steps this time around. And also just given where I'm at in my life, all the craziness that's going on in the next few months, again, just want to be kind to myself and give myself the opportunity to still have a project and a deadline and a goal, but just make it something really reasonable. Again, this is my first Camp NaNo, so I don't really know what to expect. My hope is that I'll connect with other writers who are participating. I honestly have just been feeling really lonely when it comes to writing because I don't have anyone in my real everyday life that is a writer and that can understand some of the struggles or fears or just the day-to-day, what it's like to try and prioritize writing a novel with a 9-to-5 job. I don't really have anyone that I can connect with over things like that, and I want to connect with the writing community online. I just feel a little bit awkward and I don't really know how or like where to start. Honestly, I was homeschooled, and so I already feel a little bit socially awkward, but it's strange to see that carry out in the online space. The thing is, I genuinely don't have huge aspirations for this channel. Like, I'm not trying to blow up. I'm not trying to be a full-time author tube channel. I could care less if I ever get paid ads on my videos or anything like that. I honestly don't care. I had a whole career being an influencer years ago before I started working in tech, and I just know what it's like to be a successful content creator and all that it entails. And I don't look at it with rose-colored glasses anymore because I've had that experience. I could go back to having that experience. If you're curious about kind of my life before working in tech and now prioritizing writing, you can check out my Instagram below and you'll be able to see some of the work I was doing prior. But I honestly love working in tech. I love being more behind the scenes now, and I'm really loving this channel and creating these videos as just a way to document and honestly hold myself accountable. And so that really is my intention of having this channel. If I could just connect with a couple authors or readers, like, I would be super happy. Anyways, this video is to say, moving forward, you're going to see a lot more vlog style content. That's because I'm going to be taking you through writing and participating in Camp NaNo. I think anyways, it's not very authentic to have my professional camera setup every time, especially when I'm just finding time to write throughout the day. Okay, that's all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until I see you next time, take care.